Aloha and welcome to Restaurants Hawaii on ThinkTech Hawaii. I am your host, Sheryl Matsuoka, the Executive Director of Hawaii Restaurant Association. And I'd like to introduce Chivon Garcia, Hawaii Restaurant Association's Executive Assistant. Hey, Chivon.
Hi, Cheryl. Thank you for having me.
Could you introduce our two guests?
Yes, we want to welcome back John Gentille. He's the Chief Revenue Officer for ERC today. And I want to welcome Kwok, who is Managing Partner for Jade Dynasty Seafood Restaurant. He is also Vice Chair for the Hawaii Restaurant Association. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
Good to be here.
Today, we're answering more questions regarding the Employee Retention Tax Credit, also referred to as ERTC or ERC. But before we start, Chivon, could you please state the disclaimer?
Yes, we just want to remind everybody that the Hawaii Restaurant Association provides our members with referrals, not recommendations, of potential companies to engage in their services. We do not guarantee the accuracy of the information concerning any company's products or services. We do not license, endorse, or recommend any particular company or service, nor do we make any judgment about the quality of service of any company. Consequently, we do urge our members to interview and conduct their own due diligence by checking references and customer comments before entering into a contract with any company.
Thank you, Chivon. So today, January 25th, 2022, we are discussing the ERTC updates. And, Hawaii Restaurant Association's focus has been and will always be how, as an association, we may provide valuable information to help our members in the food service industry. Many of Hawaii Restaurant Association's initiatives help businesses, processes, and their bottom line. So today's discussion is a great example of how Hawaii Restaurant Association has been assisting Hawaii's restaurants and the whole food service industry stay afloat and stay with their doors open. John, a long time ago, I learned the best way to explain something is to state what it isn't. So let's start from there. What, for businesses, especially business owners who are hearing about the ERTC for the first time, what isn't the ERTC?
Well, it's definitely not a program that's ending anytime soon. I think a lot of individuals believe that with the infrastructure bill that was signed a few months ago, that it ended ERC as we know it, which is 100% inaccurate. Businesses have up to 3 years from 2020 and 2021 to still apply. So a number of the organizations we talk to, or I frequently go out at night to dinner, 90% of the people I talk to believe ERC is done.
Yeah, I agree. The other misconception is that they have to pay it back. You want to touch on that, John?
Correct. Everyone thinks it's very similar to PPP or it's a loan, but it's not a loan at all. It's you file with the IRS, you have to amend, or business has to amend their 941s, and then they have to file with the IRS. And at this point, it's a retroactive service. So you have to go back and do an amendment, and then the business receives literally a check in the mail they don't have to pay it back. They can use it for anything within their business. They do have to pay taxes on it, but again, it's not a loan.
Excellent. Now, is there anything else that the ERC is not? Before we have you review the 2021 guidelines and then move into the Recovery Startup Business Program, is there anything else that the ERC is not?
I wouldn't say there's really anything there. I think the number one misconception is A, it's a loan, and B, it's ending or it's ended. So if businesses understand that, one, it's not a loan, and two, they have 3 years to amend, it's a great opportunity.
Excellent. That's exactly it. And I'd like to just mention this up front because many people who are watching, business owners who are watching this recording, can learn from what you're stating. So let's start with 2021, as we discussed earlier. What are some of the changes?
The biggest changes right now is one, that the infrastructure bill limited Q4 for filing. So that was the only major change outside of another program that got put in place on August 1st. Recall, we refer to it as the RSB. It's the Recovery Startup Business Credit. And, we kind of joke internally about the fact that no one knows about the Employee Retention Credit. Very few people know about the RSB. And the way that it states is that any business that opened up operations after February 15, 2020, and has under $1 million in annual sales has the capability of qualifying for up to $50,000 in Q3 and $50,000 in Q4 2021. And the way that $50,000 equated is that a business can receive up to $7,000 per employee. So for every $10,000 in wages, it's 70% of $10,000.
Very good, very good. Is there anything else that you would like to state, John, before we have Ave ask a few questions or make a few statements?
The only thing I would say is, again, very few people know about it. And instead of trying to figure it out on your own, reach out to resources that make sense. If that means your payroll company, if that means your CPA, if that means a company like us, at the end of the day, it's a great opportunity. I mentioned last time it was a generational opportunity for everyone involved, and that's exactly it. Since it's not a loan, there's a lot of businesses that are hurting, especially in the restaurants. And with Omicron out now, we don't know what the future is with COVID. So again, do what you can to help your business, your employees, and your livelihood, and apply for the Employee Retention Credit.
Good point. And yes, John represents ERC today. And if you need his contact information, please reach out to me at info@hawaiirestaurant.org. And if you're not subscribed to our, our industry emails and newsletters, please subscribe. It's free. It's if you go to the website, hawaiirestaurant.org, and just subscribe, it's free. You'll be kept up to date on programs such as the ERC. So John, anything else before I turn it over to Ave?
The only thing I'll leave you with is it does take businesses a fairly long time, and I'm sure other people will back me up on this, is that when a business does apply for it and they become eligible, they have to amend to 941. They have to send it to the IRS, and the IRS, unfortunately, is overloaded with a significant amount of opportunity. So it's taking right now 6 to 9 months to get paid from the IRS. We believe it'll be longer going into 2022, especially with the tax season coming up. So we did everything we can to help businesses, and we were able to develop a funding solution for business. It's an option. So if a business wants to receive their ERC quicker than the 6 to 9 month time frame, we've been able to figure out an opportunity for them to get it in 4 to 6 weeks. So for more information on that, please reach out to us directly at ERC Today, or reach out to me directly as well.
Awesome, John. All right, Ave, you have any questions for John?
Well, it's well said, John. And I just want to ask on behalf of other business people, we have a lot of new ones, and a lot of ones they already applied the ERC. So for the new ones, they got to know this program. Besides, get information from you, get you busy. Can they speak to their CPAs and other people as well?
Absolutely. It's a great question. We get asked all the time. Shockingly, not a lot of payroll companies are doing ERC. What's even more interesting is that less CPAs are doing it. So I always tell everyone, regardless if your CPA is doing it or not, reach out to them, because they're your trusted advisor. They'll be able to provide you insight. And if they're not doing it, they'll at least give you an opportunity of going to an organization like ERC Today.
Wonderful.
Dave,
Yeah.
we
So
Dave, we heard so many stories, right, of people who didn't think that they would be qualified.
yes, one of them is me. So I want to tell you a little bit about my story. So as you know, J Dynasty Restaurants is one of the top Chinese restaurants. We started in 2011. And when we reached to 2017 and 18, we reached the peak. And it's hard to become number two, you're number one. So when pandemic hits, and we need help. Our business went down almost 80%. We had to literally close for a while, and we start looking for some grants and PPPs and to be honest with you, it's a lot of owners like me. It's a it's a bigger head, but you wanted to looks like, oh, come on, we have to begging for money. So a lot of unwillingness over there. I can see some of my friends in the industry at that time when the PPP and when the ERC appears, and they tend to hold off and say, well, I don't know, I should apply. You know what? I didn't take a chance because I see the slide of my business and it's going down. We need help. We need help. We need all kind of help. We were lucky to get some PPP funding help, and the ERC they apply as well. And I just want to tell you a fantastic stories. I got this information actually from Hawaii Restaurant Association. I just joined the association not too long ago, but I got great information from Sheryl, from Chivon, and from the website, and who to contact and what to do. And we went ahead and do that. And same as John, I mentioned it, we contacted our CPA right away, and they are very knowledgeable, and they get on it. They do all the work for us, and unfortunately, we didn't get it right. So, but I want to tell you an amazing story is we opened another entity. It's called Dada Spa, Salon, and Cafe. So it has a restaurant elements in there. 2021. We think that one is no chance. Everybody got the money. I don't think so. But you know what? I talked to Sheryl and I talked to Ryan Tanaka from the association. They say, you know what? Try. Okay. It's nothing. It's no harm to try to apply it. We have our CPA, we have our records, we have everything. And Dada went to apply actually not too long ago, 4 months ago. You know what? Dada got it. Dada got it. So we're waiting on the J Dynasty, and we got it Dada one, and we're gonna continue to look at it. It really helps, by the way, when we first opened the business during the pandemic time, just like any other owners, we're suffering. We have many hits on the cost, the rising costs, the inflations, and employees, and sometimes a lot of time calling sick, and also the Omicron's affecting. So you're not in a better shape. We need help. Don't take out that proud head a lot of time. So I did. I went to apply, and I'm in a very good shape now. So I got the money, and we can operate it well, and we can use those money to take care of a lot of bills nowadays. And thanks for that. So with all the good changes, like John just mentioned, I think what we need to do is, as a business, as an owner, let's get the resources, get close to the help. And Hawaii Restaurant Association, it's been a great help to me, and I'm glad I'm joining the club here. And I wanted to actually hopefully be a future leader to influence that, to get more of this kind of information to the small guys. Hawaii has been suffering a lot of times from this pandemic time, and I think in the next 2 years it's gonna be a challenge like this, guys. So that's like what I learned. Filed it, even you don't get it, but at least you're in the system, and the government is not gonna leave you behind, and they're gonna fund it, and you ultimately get it. You maybe get a surprise check tomorrow and say, wow. that really changed my course of plan. Is that closing or pending? You can continue to pull out your good food. So.
Thank you, Abe. Thank you so much. You're right. One of the points that Abe brought up, John, and I forgot to mention it, this show is Restaurants Hawaii, and we cover the whole food service industry, but really and truly, the ERC is for any business. John, you want to touch upon that? Some of the types of businesses you've been able to help?
Absolutely. That's another thing people think about. It's only for restaurants or the hospitality industry. We have done ERC in almost every industry. I don't think there's one I can even think that we haven't done, but people are surprised when we say churches, law firms, technology companies, hotels. It's been staggering, but the most important thing is being activists in your community and wanting to help out as much people as possible, because so many people don't know about it. We all understand that, and we're trying to help out as much as we can. I talk about it nonstop. My wife, I think, gets tired of me talking about it, honestly. But at the end of the day, it's about helping everyone. And you see it on the news all the time, is all these other programs in the government that have gone away or aren't funding any opportunity anymore. The ERC has an open door policy. They're taking as many applications as they can. It might take some time to get paid, but we should all do our part in talking to regardless of who it is, because at the end of the day, you may or may not apply, but if you don't try, you'll never get it.
That's been my motto. I tell you, John, I've been on local media TV stations mentioning the ERC. I've been in talk shows, and every opportunity I get, John, I mention the ERC, and I welcome anyone to email me and info@hawaiirestaurant.org, just in case, and let me put you in touch with people like John so that we can help you keep your doors open. So now, Chivon, do you have any questions for John?
Yes. Hi, John.
Hey, Chivon.
One of the things that you did mention for the startup businesses was that they can, if they opened a business after February 15th, is there a date when they have to, besides February 15th, is there an end date to that? And also that it is a two-part question. You mentioned employees too. Do they have to have a minimum or a maximum amount of employees?
There's no minimum and there's no maximum. They just need to understand that they can get up to $7,000 per employee. So even though the $50,000 cap, let's say you have a new business and you only had 5 employees, well, you could only get $35,000 per quarter. But again, we have to analyze the wages that are available. But it's a no-brainer. They should apply regardless. And it's again February 15th through the end of 2021. We are a business. We started in gosh, time flies. We started in 2021, and we took advantage of it as well. We were a new startup business, and we were able to get $50,000 in Q3 and Q4.
Now, what I have heard a little bit, and correct me if I'm wrong, if it's a husband and wife that open a business, they wouldn't be included as part of the employees. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. It's they're excluded, and then their employees are included.
So that would be any family members, or how does that work?
It's typically immediate family. Someone just asked me earlier, as what if my brother-in-law or cousin works for the company? They would be included, but immediate family is excluded.
Okay. And we kind of talked about the impact that the Infrastructure Investment Act had. Can you maybe explain why that actual act had something to do with the ERC?
Well, I think it blindsided a lot of people. I think a lot of businesses thought that when the government had mentioned, hey, this is going to go through the end of 2021, and then the infrastructure bill got signed. And now we've heard through some lobbyists that there is a push to get Q4 reenacted, as well as potentially Q1 2022. Now that's just I can't say that's concrete, but we've heard that through some resources we have. But again, when the infrastructure bill was put in place, businesses cannot get Q4. They cannot claim for Q4. It eliminated that opportunity, which is unfortunate for a lot of businesses, because I think a lot of them are really counting on Q4. And the fact that Omicron hit really hard all over the world, especially in the US in Q4, and it's still affecting business is now. I think it'd be great if the government would reenact Q4, but unfortunately they eliminated it. But inside the infrastructure bill, deep inside the infrastructure bill, it did include the RSB, which is nice. But when the infrastructure bill was signed, almost all the headlines said ERC ends. And unfortunately, they made a lot of people believe that was the case. In fact, the last week of the calendar year, we received more applications in 1 week than we had received in like 2 months, because everyone thought it was ending. In fact, we still get people call now and say, do I still have time to apply? I know it ended last year, and that they're very happy to hear that wasn't the case.
So, we're full blown into tax season now. If somebody hasn't amended their 941 and they come to you, what is your suggestion for them? And, some people will want to go just through you versus a CPA. Can you tell us the benefits of doing it that way?
Absolutely. We were started from myself that I previously worked at ADP, and then my partner who had a CPA firm. So when we first went into business, that's how we got together. So we, the CPA industry, the tax professional industry, is allies for ERC today. We actually have about 50 CPA firms that we process ERC for. So what we found is that with tax season, as you just mentioned, the CPA community is getting really, really busy now. But they're still getting requests from their clients for support. So we have found that probably 25% of the CPA community that we've talked to actually has interest of doing ERC. And the ones that have not are trying to do their best for their clients to provide them a resource. There was a period of time that we were receiving probably 3 to 4 calls a day from CPA firms, which is pretty shocking. But now during tax season, I think we received 10 in 2 days. So again, I'm not excluding the CPA community. Obviously, they do a great job for their clients. But just understand, if you contact your CPA doesn't do ERC or doesn't have a resource, we're that type of resource for you.
That's good news for, a lot of people, especially because you're saying so many of them are so busy, and people are probably hearing this and saying, okay, I want to file now. I want to do this,
Absolutely. And the other thing is the payroll companies. There's tons of payroll companies out there, and some payroll companies do have something available. So I tell everyone, exhaust your resources to get this done. You'll eventually find someone that'll do it. Now this is all we do as of right now. So we've been able to really maximize credits. We even done cross credits, meaning a payroll company did it or a CPA did it, and we did it. And literally 98% of the time, we maximize the credit. We get the more money than their CPA or the payroll company did.
So, I think the next question a lot of people would have is there a fee for your services?
Absolutely, there's a fee. However, and I think you appreciate this, I know you know this, is the way that we do this is very different than most. Is we let any business come through ERC today and apply at no cost. And when I say no cost, is no one knows if they qualify. And then if you do know you qualify, you don't know how much you're going to get. So businesses can go through our system and they can apply, and we give them a rough estimate on what that qualification is going to be. We request a lot of payroll information as well as some additional information about their business. And then once they're deemed they do qualify, we give them the option to move forward. And if they choose to do that, we ask for a minimal deposit up front, anywhere between $1,000 and $10,000. And then we take what I refer as a descending value of their credit. It starts at 15% and it goes down to 5%. So again, a very minimal amount up front, but they don't have to give us that until they officially say, you know what, I like your service, we're going to move forward. If they do that, we finish the project, amend their 941, give it to them, they send it to the IRS. In about 6, 7, 8 months, they get paid their check from the IRS, and then they pay us a balance of our fee. We did that because at the end of the day, we could do a credit of 50,000. We could do a credit of 500,000 in the exact same time frame. So we can't justify charging someone the exact same amount for a credit that's larger.
Well, thank you. That was really helpful information. And Cheryl, I'm going to move it to you. I know we're running out of time.
Thank you. So Chivon, I'll have you re-mention the statement one more time and then we'll wrap it up. But John, so much good information. This is going to be
Absolutely.
shared with all of our members and subscribers. So
Well, thanks
Chivon,
again for giving us the opportunity.
thanks, John.
Yes, thank you. And thank you to Ava as well. We do
Thank
want to
you.
mention again that the Hawaii Restaurant Association provides our members with referrals, not recommendations, of potential companies to engage in their services. And we do not guarantee the accuracy of the information concerning the company's products or services. And we do not license, endorse, or recommend any particular company or service. Nor do we make any judgments about the quality of the service of any company. Therefore, we do urge our members to interview and conduct their own due diligence by checking references and customer comments before entering into a contract with any company.
Thank you, Chivon. And again, everyone, please subscribe for our industry updates. You will get information just like today. We're going to be sending out this video recording to all of our subscribers and members. We're Hawaii Restaurant Association, the voice of Hawaii's restaurants and food service industry. Thank you for joining us. Everyone be safe. Mahalo.